Okay. Third thing I want to talk about today is finally getting rid of what's in the way. Our limiting beliefs, and we all have them, can be debilitating, not just on a business level, but on a very personal, internal level, challenging the substance of who you are. It really is one of those things that is easy to get sucked into. So it can lead to self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, negativity, depression, anxiety, and the list goes on and on. And it's hard to dig yourself out of that hole once it gets deep enough. It erodes our sense of self and our confidence and who we are at our core, and this is just some of the consequences of what can happen. Once limiting beliefs get comfortable, they bring their friends. You don't want their friends. Their friends are self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, anxiety, just like I was talking about. It's like a terrible surprise party in your head, one that you never asked for. The good news is that this can change. You just have to choose change. It can be challenging, but with the right tools and strategies and the right people to work with, as well as self-acceptance about how great you are and how you actually believe it, can be life-changing. I've seen people do, a complete 180 when they decide not to let their limiting beliefs run their life, and they get rid of them once and for all. And this is when all the good stuff starts to come in. You can start with something simple, such as changing your money story. I told you a little bit about that earlier, right? So instead of my mom saying, well, honey, money doesn't grow on trees, I decided I was going to rewrite the script here. Another one is like, sorry, I messed it up. I decide who's going to rewrite the script here. So, I say now, well, you know what, Mom? I got a few acres of money trees out back. Did you want to come and pick from my trees? Another one, I'll never have enough. You can say, I have more than enough. I have a sign right by my computer here that says, money comes to me easily and big amounts regularly into my bank account. It literally says that. So changing the narrative will cognitively change the neurons in your brains so that you create new habits. And that's why affirmations are so powerful. They create that new habit that becomes a ritual when you say it over and over and over again. So is it okay to spend a little more time with you here? I want to give you more value. And I want to take this to another level and give you something that you can use for the rest of your life. I need some nods. Yeah. Okay, good. So when those limiting beliefs come up, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. Okay. First question, is this true? It's like fact checking your inner critic. And spoiler alert, it's usually full of fake news, and we all know what that is. Okay. Second question, is it mine? It's like asking your brain if it accidentally picked up someone else's emotional baggage at the airport. Who wants to carry that around? And the third question, does it serve me? It's like asking your inner critic, is it a Michelin star chef or is it just reheating negativity in the microwave? Right? Oh, it said right there, sorry. I got a good story about this, right? So all of those things will give you the answers that you're looking for. And I guarantee you that 99.9% of our stuff is not ours. So if it's not serving you, don't keep it. Keep the baggage that's serving you, the things that are creating joy and abundance and prosperity for you, and rippling that out into the world. So let me tell you a little story about John. John came to me and he was stuck in his business. He was not making any money. He wasn't closing sales. And he was such a positive guy, like great guy. I loved working with him. He was so kind and loving. And he was just like, Laura, I don't know what to do. I'm not moving. And I need to move. I need to make money. I need to be successful. I need to move forward in my business. I said, all right, well, let's take a look at things. So we started looking at what was limiting to him, and we dug back a little bit. And what it came down to was he had 2 other brothers who were older than him, and he was the youngest. And then the mom got pregnant. This is when he was young. And so the mom got pregnant, and it was very sad. They lost the baby when it was born, and the mother turned to him and said, I turned to John and said, you know what? This is your fault. If I hadn't had you, I could have had this other child. And that's on you. And that's what he heard for the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years of his life. It was all his fault that little baby wasn't born and had died. Can you imagine taking that on? So once we realized what was going on here and we cleared it and we got rid of it and we chose something different, we chose to look at the good things and put those in perspective. His business started to skyrocket. He wasn't limited by that belief anymore. And his life literally changed within a matter of weeks. I mean, it brought me to tears every time. I mean, he was divorced. I mean, all of this was as a result of this, not just this one thing. There were a number of things, but this big thing when he was like 5, 6 years old.